The walls inside the Lions facility have been buzzing with an energy I haven't felt since the playoff push last season, and there's a name being whispered in conversations that could fundamentally change everything about how this defense operates moving forward. Something is developing right now that has the potential to transform our secondary from a persistent liability into a legitimate championship-caliber unit overnight. Welcome to Lions News Fan Report, your most trusted destination for breaking news, insider perspectives, and comprehensive analysis on everything Detroit Lions. I'm here to bring you the latest update and the most credible insights about our beloved team, making sure you're always ahead of the curve when it comes to understanding where this franchise truly. Today, I'm bringing you something that goes beyond typical offseason speculation or draft. We're talking about a strategic move that could address the single most glaring weakness on this roster, a weakness that's haunted us years and ultimately contributed to our disappointing playoff absence. Before I reveal exactly what's being discussed, I need you to understand the full context where we stand as an organization and why this particular move makes so much sense from every conceivable angle. This isn't just about adding a player, it's about fixing a problem. Find Lions foot far too. Let me paint the picture clearly. The 2025 season ended with crushing disappointment. We entered with legitimate Super Bowl aspirations, with one of the most explosive offenses in the league, with Jared Goff playing at an MVP level, with weapons everywhere you looked. We walked away without a playoff berth, holding the 17th pick 2026 draft, and facing hard questions about what went. The answer, as painful as it is to admit, is the same answer it's been for years. Our secondary got exposed repeatedly by elite quarterbacks and receivers. We couldn't get critical stops when we needed them most. We gave up too many big plays in crucial moments. The cornerback position remains our Achilles heel, and everyone in the organization knows it. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have been exceptional at building this roster through the draft and smart free agency move. They've created an offensive juggernaut, and they've built a defensive line that can pressure quarterbacks with the best of them. Aiden Hutchinson is a superstar, our linebackers are solid, and the safety position has improved significantly. But cornerback continues to haunt us year after year, game after game. We've tried different approaches. We've drafted corners, signed veterans. We've experimented with schemes, and yet the problem persists. We don't have that shutdown corner who can erase the opponent's number one receiver, who can allow us to play aggressive defense without worrying about getting burned deep. Now, here's where things get interesting, and this is where I need you to pay extremely close attention. The 2023 NFL Draft remains one of the most fascinating moments in recent Lions history because of how controversial our selections were. At pick 17 that year, a cornerback went off the board who many draft analysts had mocked to the Lions for months leading up to the draft. The need with avid fit seemed perfect, and the talent was undeniable. But Brad Holmes went in a different, selecting linebacker Jack Campbell instead. That decision was heavily criticized initially, with fans and media questioning why we passed on a blue-chip cornerback prospect when the position was glaring need. In fairness to Holmes, his draft strategy worked out brilliant in many ways. Jack Campbell made the Pro Bowl this season and is a strong candidate first-team All-Pro. The other picks from that draft have also panned out exceptionally well. But there's always been this lingering thought in the back of every Lions fan's mind, a persistent question about what could have been if we had selected that cornerback instead. That cornerback went to the New England Patriots with the very next pick at 18, and he's become everything we hoped for and more. Christian Gonzalez is now a Pro Bowler and second-team All-Pro selection after his second season. He's the exact type of shutdown corner that the Lions desperately need, someone who can match up against the league's elite receivers and take away half the. Despite missing most of his rookie season with injury, Gonzalez came back in his second year and immediately established himself as one of the premier young corners in the entire NFL. His combination of size at 6'1" and 200 pounds, elite athleticism, exceptional ball skill, and advanced coverage instincts make him the prototype modern. He can play man coverage, he excels in zone, physical at the line of scrimmage, and he has the speed to run with any. Watching Gonzalez dominate receivers week after week while our own corners struggle has been torture for Lions fans who remember how close we came to drafting him. Every time he makes a game-changing play, every time he shuts down a top receiver, there's that painful reminder of what we missed. But here's the thing that nobody is really talking about yet, and this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. The New England Patriots are in complete rebuild mode. They're stockpiling draft, they're tearing down their roster, and they're starting over from Christian Gonzalez. As talented as he is, doesn't fit their timeline. He's entering his prime right now. While the Patriots are years away from competing, that creates an opportunity. There's legitimate speculation building that the Patriots could be willing to trade Gonzalez if the right offer comes along. They need draft capital desperately. They need to acquire young players who will develop alongside their future quarterback, and trading a premium asset like Gonzalez while his value is at its peak makes strategic sense for a rebuilding franchise. For the Lions, this represents a chance to correct what many view as a draft mistake without actually having made a mistake. We can acquire the exact player we needed at 23 while still keeping all the benefits of the players we actually draft. Think about what adding Christian Gonzalez means. Suddenly you have a corner who can legitimately shut down CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown type receivers in single coverage. That changes everything schematically. It allows our safeties to be more aggressive. It lets us bring more pressure with our defensive line. It means we're not constantly in panic mode every time an elite quarterback drops back. Gonzalez can match up physically with bigger receivers. He has the speed to stay with burners, and his football IQ allows him to anticipate routes and make plays on the ball. That's not just a position upgrade. That's a defensive transformation. The financial aspect makes sense too. Gonzalez is still on his rookie contract, which means he's incredibly cost-controlled for the next 2 seasons. The Lions have cap space to work with, especially after some of the moves made this offseason, and adding a player of Gonzalez's caliber without a massive cap hit allows us to continue building in other areas. We can still re-sign our own key players. We can still be active in free agency, and we don't sacrifice long-term flexibility. It's the ideal scenario for roster structure stand. Now let's talk about what it would take to actually make this happen. The Patriots aren't going to give away a second-team all-pro cornerback for nothing. They'll demand significant compensation, likely involving multiple draft picks, including a first-rounder. The Lions hold the 17th pick in 2026, and that pick could be the centerpiece of a package that brings Gonzalez to Detroit. Maybe we include a future second-rounder. Maybe there's a player in, but the framework is there for a deal that works for both sides. The Patriots desperately needed draft capital to continue their rebuild, and the Lions get the shutdown corner they've been searching for since forever. Some fans might hesitate at the idea of trading away a first-round pick for a cornerback. But this isn't just any cornerback. This is a proven all-pro level player who's already demonstrated he can perform at the highest level in this league. First-round picks are valuable because of the potential to become elite players. Gonzalez has already fulfilled that potential. He's the finished product, someone who can step in immediately and elevate the entire defense. That's worth premium assets, especially when you're a team like the Lions that's in win-now mode. The competitive landscape of the NFC makes this move even more urgent. Look at the teams we have to go through to reach the Super Bowl. The Eagles have an elite secondary. The 49ers can shut down receivers. Even the Packers have invested heavily in their cornerback position. We're trying to win shootouts because we can't get stops, and that's not a sustainable formula for playoff success. Adding Gonzalez changes that dynamic completely. It makes us a more balanced team, more capable of winning games in different ways, more equipped to handle whatever style of offense we face in January. There's also the psychological impact to consider. Imagine the statement it would make to the rest of the league if the Lions traded for Christian Gonzalez. It would signal that we're all in, that we're doing whatever it takes to build a championship roster, that we're not satisfied with being good enough to make playoffs. That mentality resonates throughout the organization. It elevates everyone's intensity, and it shows our core players that management is committed to rounding them with elite talent. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell. These guys deserve to see the organization making aggressive move to capitalize on their prime years. The timing, perfect too. We're coming off a disappointing season that exposed our weaknesses clearly. The offseason is the time to address those issues decisively, not half measures or hopeful draft picks that might develop too 2 years. Christian Gonzalez is ready to contribute elite level right now, and if he's available, the Lions need to be aggressive in pursuing him. This is the type of move that championship organizations make when they identify a clear need and a clear solution simultaneously. I want to hear from you on because your perspective as Lions fans matters deeply. Would you support trading the 17th pick plus additional assets to acquire Christian Gonzalez from the Patriots? Do you believe a shutdown corner is the missing piece that takes this defense from good to great? How much would you be willing to give up to finally solve the cornerback plagued this franchise so long? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I read every single one, and your input shape how we discuss critical topics. Here's my final analysis on this potential game-changing move. Christian Gonzalez represents everything the Lions need at corner. He's young, he's elite, he's proven, and he fits perfectly into what Dan Campbell is building here. If the Patriots are willing to trade him, Brad Holmes needs to be on the phone immediately. Making cost will be significant, but the impact would be transformative. This is our chance to turn the defense's biggest weakness into a genuine, and I believe, chance abs. Make sure you're subscribed to Lions News Fan Report and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update as this story develops throughout the offseason. I'll be tracking every rumor, every report, every development that could impact the Lions' pursuit of defensive reinforcements. This is your home for comprehensive, honest Lions coverage that goes beyond the headline. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this community, and let's keep believing this organization is building something truly special. One pride, let's roar.